Approve the fencing quote for Veterans Park.
Yeah, so you'll recall from a previous meeting, we talked about our situation at Veterans Park with our encroachment onto the neighboring property there. Earlier this year, we met with him, we talked about how we could address this. I recommended that some additional fencing there I threw that out to the property owner at the time. Some additional fencing would prohibit people from accessing that hillside, watching baseball games from left field, and it would alleviate his concern. So what we've talked about so far is that we would get some quotes to talk about this additional fencing, and then if we move to do this, we could then approach our neighbor there and negotiate the appropriate easement that is a permanent basis and not terminable at will at any time. So I've reached out to 4 different fence contractors, received 2 quotes back. 2 did not respond to my inquiry. The 2 quotes are in front of you in the engineer's packet. One's from Red Rock Fencing, and the other is from Plowcheck, who's the contractor out there now. Plowcheck's quote, Plowcheck's quote is for $12,600, and Red Rock is for $18,573. We're talking about approximately 200 additional feet of fence to isolate that left field section. So I'm reporting back to you on this now. I've gotten a couple quotes. I'd like to revisit this conversation and discuss how we want to move forward with our situation there.
Shouldn't this be, if we would do this, should this be just a change order on the existing contract?
I think it should be.
Yeah, yes.
Should be a change.
Considering Plowcheck is our contractor and the low quote here, yeah.
I think that's the way that, I think so. That's
Yeah, you're right. It should be a change order. That, the request is made, TJ takes it, signs off on it, makes a recommendation, then you guys do it.
Did that neighbor accept that like that, TJ?
He, I presented, so I met with the neighbor, Chuck participated in that meeting. We talked specifically about what we were looking for in terms of fencing. That information I took directly to these fence outfits and asked that they provide a quote for that. So, our neighbor has indicated to us that what we're talking about here is adequate to appease his concerns, and then, we would be talking about a revised permanent easement that is not terminable at will in the future, since part of our left field fence is going to exist on that parcel that is currently terminable at will.
So we'd have to have a drawing shown. Do we have a drawing shown?
Yeah, exactly. I guess my thought with this was, we would move forward with this, and then we would draw up easement paperwork and approach the neighbor.
This seems to be an expense we're incurring because of.
That would be a malpractice situation.
That probably costs more than the fence. It probably costs more than the fence. It just seems a shame that we're stuck paying for all this stuff, and not that the guy's not being more than gracious. The fact that this, but it should have never been designed on his property in the first place.
Right. We have a signed easement. Our neighbor signed that document and presented it to us. It was never countersigned by Union Township, and it was never recorded. And the issue with the easement, as we've talked about before at previous meetings, there's a clause in there, which I've never seen in my career before, that says that either party has the right to terminate the easement at any time for any reason. So
I've never seen it.
it's a permanent infrastructure easement that our neighbor can terminate at any time, which creates a legal issue down the road if he were to so do.
Conversations dealing with it, it seemed to be alluded that we were going to access through his property to hit our part, but we weren't keeping that, which made sense why it would be done that way, but in the end, there's a park on his property.
Part of the left field fence is shown on the adjoining property, which we have that easement for,
That could be.
that can be
revoked at any
terminated at any
by
time.
either party.
So it's even on the drawings that they were intending to put our defense for our park on his property from the beginning.
It's shown on the construction drawings that were issued to the contractor.
And at that time, I think I told you to respond when I asked that question. They made a mistake.
Well, and they weren't even up to questioning, you know, he started saying about I have bad news with Veterans Park, I said, no, tell him the really bad news. Like,
You
it's
met
on
with
someone
him,
else's
right?
property.
Yeah,
And he said, yeah.
I'll just leave it, comment at that.
yeah, so,
Okay, so we're tabling approving the fencing quote,